makers of Ramsey Solutions. It's the Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they actually love, and create real, amazing relationships. George Campbell, Ramsey personality, host of the Fine Print and Entree Leadership podcast on Ramsey Networks, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. It is a free call, and some say the advice is worth exactly what you pay for it. The phone number, 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. 225. Mary in Tallahassee, Florida starts off this hour. Hey, Mary, what's up?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure. How can we help?
It's an honor to speak with you.
You too. What's up?
Well, I have a question. I have an inheritance, and my sister was left out of the will.
Whoa, why?
I think that there's been some conflict along the years that I don't think that got resolved. One was her significant other, and it just never got resolved. And some things had been said along the way. My mom was very strong-willed and very independent. My dad passed away 25 years ago, so she had to be that.
So your mom was not in relationship with your sister?
Exactly.
And chose to not leave her anything as a result?
Exactly.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, why would your mom leave something to somebody that doesn't speak to her?
Yeah. Well, she tried to, my sister tried to with my mom, but my mom had just had enough. Right.
She'd had enough. She cut her off.
Right.
In life and in death.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you know, the old-fashioned saying for that is, you're dead to me. You ever heard that?
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes teenagers use it and they don't even know what they're talking about, but that's where it comes from.
So, Mary,
Right.
do you feel guilty? Is that why you're calling?
At first I did, but then I got shut down. Basically, she said, "Are you going to, split this with me? I want to know. So if you're not, that means you agree with Mom." And I said, "I didn't say that."
We're not taking that guilt trip. No, thank you. That's on her.
Yeah. So
I kind of with your mom. I don't like your sister much.
Well, so it has been, yes, because I'm trying to do the main thing, but also at the same time, I'm trying to honor my mom.
Yeah.
And I tried to smooth things over, and it did not work. I tried my very best, and now
Because your sister's a head case, yeah.
So I was like, well, what do I do now? So it's been, you lose your parent, to dementia, Alzheimer's, and then you deal on this, and now not talking to me. So I'm like, well, where do I go? Because that's going to cut that. That's going to cut that. Because I know what
No.
Oh.
You not giving her money is not cutting the relationship off. She is choosing to cut the relationship off.
Oh, that makes sense.
You didn't choose. She chose. I'm sorry. It hurts, though.
Yeah.
It does.
And when you have a manipulator trying to manipulate you and you don't fall for it and they back off and throw grenades, it does hurt. I'm so sorry.
What was your relationship to your sister prior to the inheritance?
Well, I've always wanted more of a relationship than what I got. And
now when there's money, she wants a relationship.
Yeah, but there's...
If you have to buy a relationship, isn't that called prostitution?
Yeah, right. But also at the same time, I don't know, I think that there was a lot of, resentment towards me, which I did not know. It finally came out when my mom got sick 7 years ago with Alzheimer's, dementia. Yeah. And it all came out, and then I'm like, what did I do? Then this is the final thing.
You're going to have to release yourself.
Wait a minute, the truth is, did you really do anything but wrong, Mary?
No.
Were you mean to your sister? No. Did you reach out to her? Yes. Did she reciprocate? No. Did she call you up after there was money involved? Yes. Only when there was money involved. Did she actually reach out and act like you needed a relationship with her?
Right. She did not. That's right.
It sounds like
she's not really interested in a relationship with you. She's just interested in money. Is that wrong? Am I wrong?
You're spot on.
That's what the evidence in this discussion says, anyway. But
Right.
it still hurts.
Yes.
Because it's your sister, it's your last remaining relative now, with your dad and your mom both gone. You feel it feels she puts it on you as if you caused this. You didn't cause any of it. She chose to be resentful to you because you were actually able to maintain a relationship with your mother, albeit your mother might be difficult too, it sounded like. But you were able to maintain that, and you weren't being manipulative in that. You were just able to walk a road your sister couldn't walk with your mom.
Right.
And so now she's mad at mom, and now she's mad at you. And now if you don't give her money, she's mad at you.
Right. And
Sick puppy.
Right. And I also was told my mom destroyed our family by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I said, Mom loved her family. Don't ever tell me that she loved her family. So it kind of had built from there.
Yeah. Well, she's hurt and mad at your mom.
Right.
She's a wounded girl. But
right.
If I thought you giving her money would make all of this go away and everybody would be happy and not weird and you guys would just be great little sisters like in some movie or something,
yes.
I would tell her to share it with her because it's just stupid money. But money's not the problem here. It's just revealing the problem.
Right.
And so we know it's not going to fix it. Because let me tell you, you give her half the money, okay, how long is it, set your watch, how long is it before she's pissed off about something else?
True.
Tick, 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 tick. Oh, there it is, yeah.
True.
So that tells us it's not about the money. It's about the dysfunctional sister. So, what I would just say, Dr. John Deloney would say, write her a letter. And then maybe don't send it. Just get it out of your system. But grieve the loss of the relationship because it hurts. And, you might just set some boundaries and tell her, listen, this is not about money. When you and I are friends again, we can talk about stuff like money. But right now, I've tried to have a relationship with you, and you didn't want to have one until there was money involved. So this is on you. And right. So if you want to come hang out for a dinner anytime, I'd love to have you. I'm not mad at you. But as of right now, no, we're not going to have any financial discussions or transactions. If you ever need any help and we're in a good, strong relationship together again, I'll try to help you.
Right.
But so the other thing I try to remember is, okay, I get that mom wasn't the easiest person, but, this is her will. It's what she wanted to happen. That's why they call it a will. This is what I will to happen. I want this to happen. And that was her will. She decided with her money what she wanted to have happen to her money. It's not your place to change that. And so I wouldn't, especially in this situation, because it's not going to get you what you want. But it does hurt. And I'm sorry. Your poor little sister, she's messed up. This is The Ramsey Show. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Okay, rule of thumb, everybody needs a will. Go to mamabearlegalforms.com, get your will, put Ramsey in the promo, and you'll find the deals, right? Everybody ought to have a will. If you have a whacked family situation, like our last caller, where someone's not going to be in the will, or you're getting different levels of inheritance for whatever reason, or it's complicated, like you've got a blended family, yours, mine, and ours, that kind of thing, you owe it to your family to have a reading of the will before you die.
Hard to do it after.
Yeah. Well, there's a reading, but it's not you doing it. So, yeah, you need to sit down and tell everybody why what's happening is happening. And that's the deal.
Because it can ruin relationships, as we saw with the last caller.
Exactly. That relationship was already ruined. There wasn't one there. It exposed a ruined relationship, but it didn't cause it. But the thing is, what that mom did by not telling the sister that she was cutting her out, she leaves the pressure on the remaining sister. And the anger directed at mom gets transferred to her sister. So you just say, you're not getting as much, for whatever reason. And you explain it to them. And then if they want to not like it, they can not like it while you're alive. That's called character, courage, those kinds of things. Now, in this case, mom had dementia, and in this case, she didn't have enough of a relationship to even have the discussion with the little sister, it sounds like. So I'm not sure she did anything wrong in that regard. But we go to great lengths inside the Ramsey family to make sure that everyone knows where they stand.
No surprises.
This is who's in the will. This is what's going on. This is what the will looks like. This is what that trust is going to do. This is what's going to happen with that piece of real estate. This is what's going to happen with the company. This is what's going to happen with that. And it's so bad that we have a annual estate planning meeting where we discuss my death in front of me.
Is there a name for that?
Yeah, it's the If Dave Dies This Year meeting. So it's awful. It's like a Monty Python movie. I'm feeling much better. It's just a flesh wound. But oh my God, I'm planning my death every year. It's morbid as crud.
Well, and the older you get, the more real it gets. I'm just saying.
You're worse. Yeah, no, it's the closer you are, you got one foot in the grave. Come on, Dave, you need to be doing this. But yeah, you don't have to do it every year. In our case, there's so much going on. It's so complicated. There's so many moving parts that we even bring in our leadership team here at Ramsey so that they know, the operating board, they know what's going to happen, who's doing what, and we don't get into the infinite details, but all the stuff concerning those people. If it concerns you, you should be in there, And so take the time, and then you don't have this dramatic reading of the will with all the emotions like some murder Agatha Christie movie thing or something. With the ridiculous plastic surgery stepmother and the lost child coming in from nowhere and ridiculous things.
Weird family members coming out of the woodwork.
I remember one, Richard Pryor was the toy. Remember that was 1,000 years ago movie. But those are bizarre movie scripts. They should not happen in real life. Okay? It should be a, people should say this is where it is. And I'm perfectly okay if you don't want to give someone your money because, by the way, it's your money. You get to decide that. If I think it's weird, I'll tell you. But if the girl hasn't spoken to her mother for years and her mother doesn't leave her money, that would seem logical to me.
But she thinks we share DNA.
You're not owed money just because you're in the DNA chain.
Yeah. There's an entitlement there.
Yeah, the DNA chain does not mean you're owed money. Now, the law will give you money if there's not a will, but morally, you are not owed money because you're in the DNA chain. Just, So if you're meaner than crud to your whole family and everybody in the family hates you and your mean boyfriend is mean to your mean mother, there's a lot of mean people in here, then your mean mother doesn't leave you and your mean boyfriend money, why would you be shocked? It sounds logical. But mean mom ought to go ahead and tell mean daughter, you're mean and I'm not leaving you any of my mean money.
Do people just not want to have that uncomfortable conversation?
No.
Is that why they don't do this?
They're cowards. And so have the courage to call it and say, this is what's going on. You vote the wrong way. I'm not leaving you any money. I'm not supporting that party. You don't know how to vote for presidents, so I'm not going to help you. I don't care what it is. You get to decide. It's your money. You can be as crazy or as weird as you want to be with your money. That's the plan. So that's what we're doing.
Get a will and talk about the will.
Get a will and tell everybody what's in it. I know people that do a will, leave someone to be the guardian of their children and didn't bother to check with them.
Oh, boy.
It's like, surprise, you just got 3 kids.
Can you do that legally? Do they have any legal obligation?
You can do that legally, but just because anything like that, I don't want to talk. Doing a will was hard enough. I don't want to talk about what's in it. And I don't care. It's like grown-up stuff, boys and girls. Jill's with us in Los Angeles. Hey, Jill, what's up?
Hi, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
So I am 19 years old, and I would like your advice on what to do with some extra savings I have.
Cool. How'd you get the money?
Okay, so I have 4 accounts right now. So I work a part-time job at an ice rink. I'm an assistant coach. And from that job, I have built $1,500 in a checking account and $9,500 in a savings account.
Way to go.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
And then separately, I have about $47,000 in my dad's credit union. And then I have an investment account with roughly $100,000 in an S&P 500 index fund.
Whoa.
Where'd you get that?
My grandmother, she's very blessed, and she's very generous.
Wow. Good for you.
Cool. And the $47K, the credit union, where did that come from?
Also my grandmother.
Okay, cool.
And it's all in your name?
Yes. I can't touch it until I want to buy a house or a car, but that's not going to be an issue right now since I have a car already. My parents are on baby step 7.
Why can't you touch it? You promised you wouldn't?
Yes, I want to save it in the.
No, I don't think. I didn't say it's unwise. You said I can't, but I think you meant I won't.
Yeah, I won't.
Okay, you don't. It's not in a trust. It's not a legal document, but you just promised Grandma you wouldn't use it except for those things.
Correct.
Good.
Okay,
that's a good promise. Okay,
cool.
Good.
What's the horizon look like as far as college? Do you plan on going to college?
Yes. So currently, I'm a sophomore in college, and I'm studying to be a dietitian.
Cool. Is school paid for, or are you cash flowing it?
Completely paid for. My parents fully funded it, and my grandmother pitched in too.
Wow. You've got some awesome family who have a good head on their shoulders.
Oh, I am extremely blessed.
So your question's what?
So should I keep my $9,500 in my savings account, or should I invest that money so it can grow?
Do you have an emergency fund currently?
Yes, my checking account.
Is that part of the $47K?
No, it's part of the checking account with the $1,500 in it.
That doesn't sound like much of an emergency fund.
Yeah, your $9,500 is your emergency fund. So no, I would just leave it sitting there.
Where are you living right now? Are you renting? Or are you with family?
I'm living with my parents, and I'm commuting out to college currently.
Okay, cool. Well, let's get through school. Let's see what life looks like on the other side, and then we can decide what to do with this money. But you've got a car, school's paid for. The next logical goal would be to get that down payment on a house when you're ready for it. But there's no rush. You're doing great at 19.
After school, yeah. After your next logical goal is finish school.
Yes.
And you seem to have that covered. But I'm just going to let the $9,500 sit there. It's just a nice little insurance policy. It's not really going to make you rich or make you poor what you do with it. It's not enough money to do that. So a lot of these other things, the habits you're learning, the things you're gleaning from your family, how smart they've been, that's all setting you up. And you really do have a great eye on this and a great intentionality. That's more important than the $9,500. I would let it sit there as your emergency fund. Thanks for the call. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Jason and Allison are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, Dave.
We're
How's
good.
it going?
Welcome, welcome. Where do you guys live?
We're from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Cool. Welcome to Nashville. And here
Thank
to do a debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
We paid off $240,000.
Good for you. How long did that take?
Took a little over 11 years, 4 months.
Ooh, okay. Very good. And your range of income during that time?
We started out around $50,000 single income, and it got up to $150,000.
Wow. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
And I'm a replacement manager for a HVAC company.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. Good for y'all. So $240,000 over 11 years. Is that your house?
That is our
It
house,
is.
Dave.
All right. Look at it, weird people. Man, and no house payment. How old are you two?
39 and 40.
Wow. And a paid-for house.
Yes, sir.
What's the house worth?
We checked this morning. It was $457,000.
Let's go.
I love it. How much in your retirement accounts?
We have a little over $200,000. We just kind of got that going back here in the last couple of years. So that's our next goal to get that knocked out.
Yeah, you're getting ready to be baby steps millionaires. Look at you guys,
Yes,
and
sir.
40
We hope
years
so.
old. You're right on track. Well done. Whoop, whoop,
Thank
whoop, 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 whoop. That's a long track, man. 11 years and 4 months. Tell us the story. What got that started?
Well, we started when we found out I was pregnant with our daughter, and we decided that I should stay home for a little while. We had our son turn 2 right after she was born, so 2 and under was a bit of a challenge. And so I stayed home for 4 years, and that's when we started looking towards the baby steps and the envelope system. And I was able to stay home for 4 years. And then once I went back to work, things really got into motion for us.
Yeah.
But after 2 years of staying home, we took FPU, and that really set us on, like you say, with the Gazelle. We were ready to go. We got rid of cable, and we took away some other things, and just once I went back to work, things really got into gear for us.
Wow. And you met Dave. I just saw a photo. It looks vintage. Check this out. Was it News Radio 680? Look
that's
at
over
this.
Okay.
Look
Wow.
at that.
That's a ways back there.
So was that along the journey? You guys
It was.
met him there?
It was actually, he came to Raleigh for Entree Leadership book. You had just come out with it, and I was like, come on, Allison, grab the kids. We got to get up there. You got to meet this guy. He's going to change our life, and he did.
Wow, that's impressive. Wow, so proud of you guys.
Was this all the mortgage, the 240? Did you guys have any other type of debt along the way?
A majority of it was. We had part of a car in there and an ATV, but majority of it, we cleared that out real quick as soon as we got on. But we were like, no, it'd mean more to our kids if they could be here with us when we fully pay everything off. And we didn't call it anything. We were like, nope, we're going to continue till we get to the final stage, and we get
do it in person.
Do everything. So now our kids are, a little bit more grown compared to those pictures. And now we're hoping that it sinks in a little bit more, and they get a lot from it.
That's fun. Very fun. Now, that's a long time to stick with it, as we said. What do you think the key is to sticking with it and to getting out of debt?
I would say, as far as staying on the same page, having budget meetings. You know, we get to the end of the month and they're getting started, and then we would, even throughout the process, we would run out of money before month, but we stuck with it. I did a lot of side work. I've been in heating and air ever since I was, you know, right out of high school, so I knew how to do work on the side and make some extra money. You know, I wasn't around all the time, but now that we're here, that time that I missed being out on the weekends and late at night running service calls and all that good stuff, it's worth it now because it's help us dig out of that hole a lot faster to where now I don't do that anymore. I'm here at home with the, you know, wife and family and spend a lot more time, and it was worth it at that time to be that gazelle intense and pressing through it.
Wow.
And one thing too, we always went on a vacation. That was one thing that we didn't give up. Just
Which
to
you're
give
not
our
supposed
kids,
to in baby steps 4, 5, 6. You're supposed to go on vacation.
But a lot of people, you know, say, well, we're not going to do this. We still want to have those experiences with our kids and make those memories. So that was another thing that
you still made paying off your house in 11 years. That's the normal. I mean, that's about the right track. I mean, that's the anywhere from 7 to 14 is our range, and most people hit it around 10 or 11 years. So
Dave, these are some of the things that we cash flowed. 2 trips to Disney. We went to Paris and London, just her and I, for 10 days. We took the kids camping out west twice to Grand Canyon and Yellowstone. Both of them embraces. We cash flowed every bit of that. And my wife had a wrist surgery, and we paid for a new car, well, new to us, used car. And we also got a camper in that process, and every bit of it was paid by cash.
Wow.
That's exactly how you're supposed to do it. Perfectly done. Well done, you guys. Whoop, whoop,
Thank you.
whoop, whoop,
So
whoop,
no
whoop.
trauma for the kids. They're not scarred. They had a great childhood, America, if you're wondering. You guys are incredible.
Reminder, gazelle intensity is baby steps 1 through 3, which is getting out of debt everything but the house and getting the emergency fund. And then when you move from that to baby steps 4, 5, 6, which is where they've been the majority of this 11 years while all these things happened, you're moved from intensity to intentionality. So you guys worked that plan
Well done.
perfectly. Exactly what you're supposed to do. Very, very well done. Excellent, excellent job. How's it feel now that you don't have a payment in the world?
really good.
We got out in the front yard. We walked in the grass barefooted. We heard everybody else on the Ramsey Show was like, we got to try this. And we did it, and it was awesome.
What'd the neighbors think? Are they going, there's some weird people there?
they
Like,
were
yeah,
looking-
we are weird.
Yeah.
We did it in daylight, so they didn't.
Walking around with a mortgage on fire in your hand.
That's awesome. Have you had a few paychecks hit without the mortgage now?
Yeah,
where
we
it
paid
stays
it
with you?
We paid it off in February.
Oh,
and
awesome.
It's that muscle memory of paying that payment. Now we don't have it, and now it's like
You gave yourself a raise.
we did.
Yeah.
Like
When we
figure
went to
it.
Disney World in June, it was like not nearly as stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't going crazy or anything, but I felt like we could enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, you didn't have to think about the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to know a guy, he said, my goal is to make enough money where I can read the menu from left to right.
I love that.
Instead of,
Look at the price
starting
first.
with the price, right? I'm gonna just order what I want, and then I'm gonna look at the price.
Absolutely.
That's what you did at Disney. You know, you weren't out of control. You weren't out of control, but you could just do it, and it was gonna be okay. It's not the way to go, you guys. You're exactly living like no one else. So later you can live and give like no one else.
Yep.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Well, we've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, without a doubt. That's the next chapter in your story, and Total Money Makeover for you to give away and get someone else started. The Financial Peace University membership for a year.
Thank you.
The brand new videos with George and Dr. John Deloney and Rachel Cruz and me in them. It's the best videos we've ever done in that class, by the way, right now. Those of you that need to go back through FPU, some of you, it's a good time to do it. So, well done. And you brought the kiddos. Bring them up. What are their names and ages?
Jacob is 13 and Catherine is 11.
And they were just little babies when all this starts, huh? Yeah.
They were.
Now he's about
A
taller than
2-year-old
Dad.
and a brand new baby, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, very,
Incredible.
very cool.
Did they learn some things along the way? Some money principles?
He actually already has a few of the books. and he's
Nice.
read them. Yeah.
Financial Peace, baby, right here.
I love it.
And he
I
gets
love
to
it.
listen to the podcast with me in the car most times whenever we're driving
He
somewhere.
gets to, Dave. He has the opportunity
That's
to
right.
listen. I love that verbiage. Not has to, gets to.
This is great. Well done, you guys. Great looking family. I'm so proud of y'all. You're heroes.
Thank you.
Very, very well done. You own your life. Jason and Allison, Jacob and Catherine, Raleigh, North Carolina, $240,000 paid off, house and everything. 11 years and 4 months, making 50 to 150. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All right, here we go. Three,
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! I love it.
Another family tree change, just like that, before our eyes.
Boom, just like that. Man, that's a cool family. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel Ramsey personality is my co-host. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Every time you hear someone do their debt-free scream, you know, at some point they said, I've had enough. I'm not living like this anymore. I've had it. When you get mad like that and you're ready to change, that's when you really will change. Until then, it's an intellectual discussion, and intellectual discussions never moved anybody off the center. Wrong. You got to decide to control what you can control and step into it, your behavior. You got to deal with the behavior. The problem with your money, the problem with my money, is the guy in my mirror. Financial Peace University will show you how to get control and change your future. It'll show you every detail of the step-by-step plan, everything you should have been taught with money and about money but weren't. Nearly 10 million people have gone through this, learning how to get out of debt, be on a budget, work with their spouse, build wealth, increase their generosity. Yeah, don't let debt and money stress control your life. Finally say it. Enough! Take back control of your life. Financial Peace University. RamseySolutions.com/enough. RamseySolutions.com/enough. George Camel Ramsey personality is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Lacey is in Denver. Hi, Lacey. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
I have a question about baby step 5. My husband and I are out of debt. We have an emergency fund. We are rather behind in retirement. And we have 6 children. 4 are adults, and they are in or have finished college all on their own. They got scholarships, they had part-time jobs, internships, all on their own, debt-free. Either have finished or are in process of that. We also have 2 younger children who are only in 3rd and 4th grade, and our income has increased dramatically. So for the first time, I feel like we really have the ability to actually save for college for them. But we're kind of debating whether or not we even want to do that because it's been so good for our older children. I don't know, is it ethical to just say we can, but we're not going to pay for college?
Sure. It's ethical. Definitely ethical. It would also not be unethical to just pay for college.
Okay.
I mean, unless you raise some entitled brat, I think paying for college, it's not going to change their character, whether they pay. Now, you want them to have some skin in the game. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I do.
You treat college differently. When it's
Are you worried about what the 4 older ones will think?
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's okay to have an awkward discussion with the 4 older ones in the room one time, like at Christmas. Go, hey guys, we need to have 15 minutes of awkward. Everybody hold your breath. You ready? Here we go. Fair is where the tilt-a-whirl is, and they have cotton candy. So let's talk about fair. How would you feel because now we make more money than we've ever made before, if we were to actually financially help your little brother and little sister where we didn't help you? How would y'all feel about that? Let's just talk about it. And by the way, you don't really get a vote. We're just asking for your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And have an awkward conversation and get that out of the way. I'll tell you what you might learn. You might learn that they say, this was the best thing that ever happened to me. And you go, you know what? I really don't want to steal that from the little ones. I'm going to make them work their butts off too. Or they might go, you know, it was okay. We got through it, but it kind of left some scars. And I love my little brother and sister enough. If you pay for part of it, it'd make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
They might say either one. One of them might say one thing, the other one might say the other. Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't see it as a...
You just had pictures of their faces flash in front of your mind and went, that one's going to say that, and that one's going to say that. You just did it just now. I watched you do it.
I think you're seeing it with black and white options of A or B. Why not have the money there and have parameters around it and say, hey, we have $30,000 per year. You can go to the state school. If anything beyond that, you pay for, and you're going to get a part-time job and still apply for scholarships.
But our kids have had some fun adult discussions. The oldest is a daughter, the middle is a daughter, and my youngest is my son. And they've had some fun discussions in our presence where Denise is like, you know, I couldn't do 1/10 of the things you got away with, little brother, you know, because they were hardcore on me.
That for sure.
And then, you know, and then, you know what? They all survived, and they don't like each other less, and they don't like us less because of it. There was no malice involved. But by the time we got to the third one, by the time you get to the sixth one, you know, some of your energy runs out, and you're just like, oh, whatever, jump off a cliff, whatever you're going to do, go play with a lawnmower. It's okay. I mean, you know, whatever it is you're going to, whatever. You're just a little bit less freaked out the first one. You're like, oh, God, they're near the kitchen. You know, it's like, and so you just, and you're much, we were harder on our oldest, discipline-wise. And I think we got lazy, or we started figuring out it wasn't all necessary or whatever. I mean, we weren't like super hard on one and not hard on the other one. Oh, they all had to behave. But, you know, hey, fair is where the tilt-a-whirl and the cotton candy is. I mean, you don't get fair. So I think you're doing okay either way. It's just probably really good family exercise to have a fun over Thanksgiving discussion. Instead of getting out John Deloney's conversation cards, use this, right? And
but the key is to have a conversation.
And
Don't
have
leave
some
it a
fun
surprise.
with it and laugh about it. And because, listen, you make a lot more money. Your life is different than it was when those kids were when your oldest one was in third grade. You're different people. You're a different life. You make a lot more money. It's a different situation. You go on better vacations now. You go out to eat at better places now. And those kids get to ride along, and the older one didn't. And so that's how life works. It's okay. It's all right.
You're not a bad person either way.
Yeah, it's not unethical. Ethics are not on the table here. But I know a lot of people that are hardcore and say, nope, not paying for any of it. It's good for them. Just gut it out. I'm going to coach you. I'll be your biggest cheerleader, but you get nada. You're going to figure this out. I'll show you what to do, but I'm not signing any loans, and I'm not giving any money. So here's what you do. You need to get some scholarships, a job, and go to a school you can afford. And they start laying it out ahead of time and put the parameters, and, you know, like you did with your oldest ones, and you could do that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's also nothing wrong with paying for college. Ethically.
Yeah.
Which is
I don't think it's going to create a bunch of brats. I think what she's wanting is the character that it created to have them hustle with scholarships and part-time jobs.
It's good. And just to juxtaposition that while we're having a discussion, and not really part of her answer, but just all three Ramsey kids, we paid for their college.
But there were parameters
100%.
around that?
Lots of parameters. Parameters are you're going to live on the budget, and here's the amount you have to live on. It's not opulent. You're gonna be walking a values-based life that aligns with our family value system, which we're Christians, so that would include walking with God. And so you're not going to be off
misbehaving,
going bananas out there, okay? And us writing checks for your misbehavior. We're going to fund your misbehavior. Not likely, not going to happen. So you're going to be doing that,
And they had to finish in 4 years, is that right?
Yeah, they had to finish for 4 years, and they went to an in-state school, and so we weren't wasting money. And so...
so if Rachel had said, Dave, I want to go to a private school in a different state.
I'm not paying for it.
Actually,
she did. No, it's worse than that. She wanted to go to an out-of-state university in the SEC that was not the University of Tennessee, which is somewhat like blaspheming. But yeah, no, I didn't.
Heretical.
Yeah, we just shut that heretic down right quick. Because it was, it was like $3,000 or something at that time to go to UT, and it was like $14,000 to go to this other SEC school,
which will not be named.
But the only reason she wanted to do it was she thought it was cool. It had nothing to do with nothing.
That's
and I
how
just said,
17-year-olds make decisions.
$11,000 because you went across the state line and got basically the same education. I don't think so.
At 17, you're not doing math. You're just picking the coolest option. That's it.
Well, Rachel, it would just be, I wanted to be different. I don't want to be like everyone else.
Well, she's accomplished that.
Yeah, she has accomplished that. And it made a brand out of it. It's pretty good. I'm proud of her. Good stuff. It's a good discussion. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Headquarters of Ramsey Solutions. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Aaron is with us in Austin, Texas. Hi, Aaron. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, George. How y'all doing today?
Great, man. What's up?
So I've got a question about selling my house. I'm just taking on a promotion, and so I'll be selling within the next 30 days. And I listen to you religiously, so I kind of know your answer, but I want to make sure. Instead of using a real estate agent, I was thinking about selling it myself and using my brother-in-law, who's an attorney, to do all the paperwork to save in the realtor costs. I did speak to a real estate agent that sold us the house back in 2018, and based on the comps right now, she had told me about a month ago that she felt very comfortable listing the house at least 330. And so I was wanting to go a little over that, and I'm looking at maybe $20,000 in the fees. So he would be doing it for free, my brother-in-law. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Okay, your brother-in-law is not doing anything that the real estate agent does. When you sell a house, you typically use a title company or a closing attorney to close the house, and you pay a closing fee. And the closing fee is not that much money. So you're not really saving anything that the real estate agent doesn't close the house anyway. They just are the marketing agent, and they sell the house for you, help you with the negotiation, help you walk through the whole sale process and all the details. But when you finally get to closing is the only time that you're using an attorney. You don't use an attorney to draft a sales contract on a residential property. The sales contract's just written up. Just written up by an agent.
But what about the profits, though?
The profits
from the sale of the house, don't they get like a 6% on the profit of the sale of the house?
No, they get 6% usually of the sale price of the house. And there's lots of research out there that shows that you will get, on average, more than 6% for the house because you used a professional agent that knows what they're doing. And so the typical house sold through a typical good high-quality realtor sells for more than 6% more than the typical FSBO for sale by owner like you're talking about doing, because you don't know what the flip you're doing. I mean, you already stumbled around your pricing just in describing it to us.
So, Aaron, let's walk through this. If you do a for sale by owner, let's say you're able to sell for $300 because you can't do any marketing and you're hoping someone drives by, whatever it is. If you get a good real estate agent who can clean it up, stage it well, professional photos, MLS listing, the whole 9 yards, you might sell for $335, which means you made $35 more on that sales price than if you did selling it on your own.
And let me tell you, here's what's interesting. Let's pretend with this for a second, okay? Let's pretend that there was a house next door to you that was the same price with the same features for sale with a real estate agent. And your house is for sale by owner with the same price as the real estate agent house next door, okay? Which is the way that you would pocket the commission, right? You'd have to sell it for the same amount, correct?
Right.
And you put 6% in your pocket if you didn't use a real estate agent in that scenario. And if that buyer looks at these two houses that are identical, basically, or they're on the same street or they're next door to each other, they've got basically the same features and the same price, and he comes and knocks on your door, instead of knocking on the other door, you got to know what he's thinking. Hey, I'll be able to get this house cheaper because this guy's not having to pay a commission. Wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And guess what? You can't save the commission as the seller, and the buyer get a cheaper price, save on the commission as the buyer. Both. It's the same commission. You both can't save it. And so it doesn't end up happening is what happens. And so it ends, and your time on the market is longer. You're more prone to make mistakes with the valuation and what you put it on the market for. The mistakes in negotiation are horrendous. The things you leave out of the sale contract that cost you a deal because you don't know what you're doing. This is your largest asset. All you're hiring when you're hiring a good real estate agent is a consultant that knows what they're doing. Now, I don't want you to hire a bonehead real estate agent that got their license that doesn't know what they're doing and doesn't sell any houses. That's sweet if you got your license, you don't sell any houses, but you're not really a real estate agent, okay? The people that sell, 40, 50, 100 houses a year, that's a consultant that knows what they're doing. They're worth their money. They're high octane, high protein, and that's how you get after it. And so, just know. I would use a good real estate agent. I've had a real estate license since I was 18 years old, 1978, and it's not unusual. Well, I actually own a real estate company too now, but as an internal, as part of our property management process, so I use them. But they are real estate agents too. They know what they're doing to sell a property for us. We don't sell many properties, hardly at all. But when I listed my personal residence and I sold it last year in 2020, I listed it with a real estate agent. Again, full disclosure, I own the company, but I didn't keep the commission. I paid the agent the commission that worked for me, So, and I know what the flip I'm doing, but I also know enough to know that I don't know. I'm not up on every little thing that's going on out there right now because I'm not doing deals every day. I don't do 100 transactions a year personally.
Yeah.
So I want somebody that does, if they're going to help me with the marketing of a high dollar asset. Get a real estate agent and don't necessarily go back to your old agent. Your old agent might be fine, but go to RamseySolutions.com, click on ELP, get one of our trusted people that has a high octane, high protein track record. Interview 3 or 4 people. If you were going to hire somebody and pay them $20,000, which you are, or $10,000, or which you are, you would interview more than one. You're not getting a haircut. You're selling your house.
That's right. This is a biggest transaction of your life, probably. So this is not amateur hour. I don't trust myself to do it, and I've got a pretty fancy camera, and I feel like I've been in the marketing world, but this is another ball game. And I just hired an electrician. Could I have YouTubed it for hours and probably got it wrong, got in a fight with my wife, got electrocuted, all to save on the electrician's fee? Absolutely. But I decided I'm going to let the pros do it, and that's how I feel about.
I don't pull my own teeth.
Yeah, I'd like to see you try, Dave.
Got a dentist.
Just tie it to the doorknob and run.
Just grab that pair of needle nose pliers and have at it. I don't even work on my own cars anymore, which is harder for me than the real estate thing. But I open the hood, I can't even find the. Yeah.
I can't find nothing when I open my car, Dave. It's just trunk space.
You mean you can't find the battery?
Nope.
There's a big old battery under there somewhere.
It's underneath.
Oh, just follow the smell. You'll find it right next to the fire.
Oh, boy.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. How many times have you found yourself saying one day when thinking about a goal you have? One day I'll be able to buy a house. One day I'll be happy in my career. Or one day I won't have to battle with anxiety anymore. Stop waiting around. Whatever your one day is, you got to start right now. That's why we created Smart Conference. Smart Conference is the one-day event. Get it? Where we tackle all areas of your life. And guys, let's face it, we could use that kind of boost right now. You'll hear from the nation's top thought leaders, best-selling authors on money, career, mental health, relationships, marriage, and leadership. The event will be in Dallas, Texas on Saturday, October 22nd. Event passes are selling fast. The VIP and Platinum is already gone. You can get general access passes still for $39. Best-selling authors, world-class speakers include Rachel Cruz, Dr. John Deloney, Ken Coleman, George Camel, Christina Ellis. I'll be there, and our friends and leadership experts from Life Church teaching on marriage, Craig and Amy Groeschel. And of course, we have some big surprises planned too. Listen, this is already 65% sold out, and it's in October. So I'm telling you, most of our events are selling out way early right now. If you want to come, I would suggest you go and get your tickets. And if you come, I will make you this promise. It's a day long. I will also promise you'll leave tired and emotional, and you will be smarter. That's why we call it Smart Conference. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Free samples, free shipping, new promos all the time. You'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Rick in Rhode Island. I see many multifamily real estate investment groups on LinkedIn and other platforms. Many require a minimum investment of $35,000. It's my understanding this investment is to grow capital needed to construct or purchase apartment complexes or condo-type housing. The payouts come at a predetermined point in the future. What are your thoughts on investing with these groups, and how risky is this type of investment?
In general, there's a huge spectrum of risk, to give you a general answer, all the way from you're crazy as crud, never do it, to probably very little risk. It's probably a good solid deal. So the trick would be, how do you alleviate that risk? You've got to do a lot of due diligence on the actual people doing the offering. Okay, some of these are structured as what are called limited partnerships. You would be an LP, a limited partner. The general partner is in control 100%. The amount of fees that they charge for putting the deal together, front end, back end, going in, going out, handling the renovations, whatever it is they're going to do, the property management, all that kind of thing, the fees that they charge can be the place that you lose your shirt, where you make almost no money. You put $35,000 in, you get $37,000 out 3 years later, and that would be like a waste of time for the risk you took. You could have just about made that in a stupid bank account, right? So they can be very risky if the general partner doesn't know what they're doing or if they load it with fees. But there are many of them that are operating that do a great job. And, I don't do this kind of thing because I don't do partnerships. The only ship that won't sail is a partnership. So I don't get in partnerships, and I for sure don't get in partnerships where I have zero control. Someone else is controlling my destiny.
You're just hoping it all works out.
I just hope it all
and
works
they make
out.
Decisions.
That scares the bejeebies out of me. So I don't do this kind of thing. But I've got several wealthy friends that do these things, $35,000 to $150,000 a pop, and they put money in, and they're making good rates of return with proven track record. General partners, or however it's structured, the operator is the trick, and whoever's operating the deal. And of course, the market, what happens with multifamily as it peaked out, and then it's going to be 5 years before it makes any money. I don't know. I have no idea.
And we don't know Rick's financial situation, but who is this right for? I mean, along
people
the
that have
steps.
$35,000 to burn. You're 100% debt free, house and everything. You probably got $1 million plus net worth. Your retirement is more than covered, and you're continually putting that in. You certainly don't have any debt at all. I already mentioned that once. But this is high net worth people that are debt free and make a lot of money, and $35,000 is money they could lose at the roulette table and wouldn't miss it. That's the only way you should put it in. It's not an appropriate investment for someone other than that.
And it's not a get rich quick scheme.
No. But
if you're looking to make a buck
but again,
really quickly.
is it 100% invalid? No, not if you're sitting in some cash and you want to play with some of that cash. But check these people out, because the spectrum of it goes all the way from awesome to sucks. I mean, it's and not only the deals, but the people running the deals and their level of integrity, their level of expertise, their level of competence, all of that. And
the same thing goes for those the real estate investment trusts, which is kind of like investing.
They're a little bit easier to check and a little bit more buttoned up on how they're structured. It's kind of a fixed thing because it's going to fall under management with the SEC. And this is not managed. This is not regulated as tightly here. This is more of some 4 or 5 old boys get together and buy an apartment complex. It's a little bit past that, but not much.
Yeah.
So one of the guys is a property manager, so he put the whole deal together, that kind of a thing. But that's the basis for the idea, and you can make some money in some of those. Some of those are legitimate deals. I'm not saying they're all illegitimate, but enough of them are that they scare me. And getting in and out of a large piece of real estate is not always something you can count on.
It's a long-term play.
It could be that let's pretend that you thought you were going to flip it in a year because the market's white hot, and now you are today in a recession. So you are not going to flip it in a year. And so, now I can't, I haven't lost my money, but I really can't get it out. It's very illiquid. So anyway, interesting play, but only if you got the money to burn. That'd be the only place you do something like that. And I don't personally do those, and I gave you the reasons why. All right, Janice is with us in Grand Rapids. Hi, Janice. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
My dad recently passed away, and I received some money.
I'm sorry. When did he pass?
$92,000 was from selling this home, and then I got like $57,000 from his life insurance. And I was just wondering what I should do with the money. I was thinking about paying off my home, but
okay, I stepped on you. I was trying to say I'm sorry for your loss, and I didn't hear your numbers. When did he pass away?
Just this past January. He had COVID pneumonia.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, now again, you got $57,000 from one thing, and what was the other figure?
The $92,000 was selling the home, so I know I won't have to pay any taxes on that money.
No, you probably won't. You're right. Your basis in it should be. Your name was not on the deed prior to death, right?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Yeah, you got a stepped-up basis. You shouldn't have any taxes on that. So you got $150,000 basically, and your question then about what to do with that is whether to pay off your house. What do you owe on your home?
I owe $117,000.
Great. Do you have any other debt?
I maybe have like $2,000 in credit card debt. My car is all paid off. I have some money in savings.
How much do you have in savings?
I have about $13,000 in savings.
Okay, that's probably about an emergency fund.
I'm 58 years old.
How much is in your retirement accounts?
I had a what's that when you have to your work?
401k?
Yeah, and I went into it because I heard about this investment and I lost all my money.
Oh.
So I have nothing right now in retirement.
Okay, so if you pay off your home, you have to use the old house money, the old house payment money, to regain your retirement and build it back conservatively. No more games, no more high risk bets, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. If that's what you're going to do, then I would pay off your house.
Yeah, I'd get connected with a SmartVestor Pro on our website as well, who can help you make some wise decisions with your future income and the rest of this money.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. George Camel Ramsey Personality is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Autumn is with us. Hey, Autumn, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Where do you live?
I live in River Falls, Wisconsin, which is outside of the Twin Cities.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
And how much debt did you pay off?
I paid off $26,500 in 13 months.
All right, I love it. And what was your range of income over that year?
It was 65 to 73.
Good. What do you do for a living?
I work in member communications, but I also added serving and house cleaning to my resume.
Whatever it took. The side hustle girl.
Yes.
Way to go. I like it. Good for you.
Which one paid better?
Honestly, probably the house cleaning.
Yeah.
I bet it did.
That's awesome.
And $27,000 worth of what kind of debt?
It was student loans.
It was all Sally.
Yes.
You evicted Sally Mae.
She's out the door.
Put her on the street. You're a cold landlord.
Hey.
You put the old woman out. I like it.
What was your degree in?
I was in business administration and marketing.
Cool.
Yep.
Good for you. Well done. How old are you?
I'm 28 now.
All right.
Yeah.
So what started this journey 13 months ago?
Yeah, so actually I had initially tried to pay off my debt a couple years ago, and it was going great until I just found myself completely struggling with a mental health crisis. So much so, like, I couldn't even make it through a day without work without calling my mom and crying. And so I decided that the best thing for me to do is actually quit my salary job. And I went back to working full-time in a gas station. And that just allowed me the flexibility to be able to kind of reset and find someone that I could talk to. Mm-hmm. So I spent 8 months at that gas station just focusing on getting better. And I finally landed the job that I have now. And to be honest, I kind of dragged my feet a little bit. I think I was afraid to commit to the plan. But ultimately, I decided that I needed to finish my journey. And so I totaled up my remaining debts, and the rest is history.
Boom. Boom. So you met with somebody and got help with anxiety or depression or what?
I was actually struggling with obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And the gas station just kind of gave you some You can kind of keep it in neutral there. You don't have to keep it in gear.
It was like I needed to do something different. And so that kind of gave me the freedom to be able to just reset and, not focus on work or anything. I could just,
Not a high-stress job.
Yeah, right.
Unless you're getting robbed. But other than that, yeah.
It didn't happen. So, yeah.
So do you find a connection between becoming debt-free and it helping with the mental health piece?
Yeah, honestly, like today, I feel like I've kind of completed 2 journeys in one.
You have.
Wow.
And it's really emotional because it's kind of the same principles. It was like baby steps through the mental health, but also the baby steps in the program. And so, just standing here today, it's all the sweeter after going through that.
Amen. Well, most of the best transformation is incremental.
Yeah.
So that would be true with both of these things. Way to go. You're like a double hero.
Yes.
Yeah, you conquered 2 things. Way to go.
It's a whole new Autumn standing in front of us.
It is.
That's awesome.
And I'm at peace.
Yeah, I was going to say, how does it feel?
It feels amazing. Yeah. I'm really proud of the person I've become through this process. So.
You should be. You should be. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
Well done. Who are your biggest cheerleaders?
My wonderful family. Ocean, look, she's crying. I just want to say that my parents have been with me through the best and the worst, and I could not be here today without them. So I'm very thankful for all their support.
That's very cool. Very cool. Good. And they're going, yes, you can you can win both of these battles.
You can. Yes, it's doable.
And you did win both of them. Yeah.
Autumn, I'm just curious. Why didn't you just wait for the White House to forgive your student loans? You went through all this work.
I know. Well, I listened to Dave, and Dave was like, you know what? It's probably not going to happen. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm not putting off for tomorrow what I can get done today. And so I don't want to, spend my life just waiting and in limbo. So I don't have any regrets with doing it now. So.
Preach.
Yeah.
That's
Amen.
good.
Well, you take control of your own life. There is something about that, because that way you take control of your own life.
Yes.
It's amazing how that works.
Yeah. Wow. Well done. Well done. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Honestly, you've got to have your I've had it moment where you just decide where you're all in. I think for me, I was just afraid to have that moment, but I realized that what I was more afraid of was actually waking up 5 years down the road and wondering what would have happened had I just started that day. And that was kind of the motivation that I needed to just get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. When you go all in, the fear is, what if this doesn't work?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. That's scary. That's the scary part of it. And with what you were facing on the other front, that's a double scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very cool. Very cool. Sounds like you had some good help.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Good for you. Good for you. Well, we've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That definitely is the next chapter in your story. Without a doubt, that's where you're headed. And a copy of Total Money Makeover. You'll be able to give that to someone who's inspired by your story, at least the money piece of your story. So we probably got a John Deloney book that'll help you with the other part.
Oh, yeah.
So that'd be good, yeah. And we'll give you also a 1-year membership to Financial Peace University. It's got the new videos in it with George Camel and Rachel Cruz, Dr. John Deloney, and me. Best we've ever done on FPU. It's good stuff. So be sure you go through that if you haven't. If not, give it to somebody. So either way, it's all just for you to say thank you for making the trip here. And we're very proud of you.
Thank you.
I know your mom and dad are, and your friends are, and your therapist are. Everybody's cheering you on. You're a fun person, an easy person to cheer on. Mm-hmm. Well done, hero. Very, very well done. All right, it's Autumn, River Falls, Wisconsin. $27,000 paid off in 13 months, making 65 to 73. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt-free!
Yeah! Woo! Way to go, Autumn. Yeah!
That was visceral. Good stuff.
I'm been doing this for 30 years, and I never cease to be impressed with how the old saying, discipline begets discipline. Healing in one area of your life begets healing in another area of your life.
Yeah.
How many times do we hear an overlap of someone lost a bunch of weight while they were getting out of debt? Someone's marriage was healed while they were healing their finances. And in her case, she is walking a mental health path, transformational path, and then simultaneously, somewhat of an overlap, not 100% simultaneous, but is overlapping this other area of healing at the same time. There is something, I think what happens is our confidence, once we go, well, if I can do that, maybe I can do that. And if I can do that, maybe I can do that.
There's a feeling of I can rise above where I'm at right now.
It gives you power once you have some incremental progress. That's why the baby step, that's why that snowball works. You pay off the little one. You go, well, I've paid off the little one. Maybe I can get the next one. And, it builds your hope. Hope is a powerful elixir.
Yeah, we talk about focus, intensity, overtime multiplied by God equals unstoppable momentum. And focus intensity is what the baby steps are, and it's what it takes to improve your marriage. It's what it takes to overcome addictions. And we see that time and time again on the debt-free stage where they go, Dave, it changed my marriage. I didn't even realize it. Dave, I overcame addiction while getting out of debt because I was just so focused on this thing over here. And it's amazing the transformation that happens across every area of life.
Yeah, the number of times we deal with someone who, as a part of their addiction recovery, decide to clean up their money. Or decide to clean up their money and let them do addiction recovery. Or mental health challenges, or relational challenges, or career changes. This idea that there's something about once you decide I am in control of more than I was thinking. And now that I see that I'm in control of that, well, I'm probably more in control of this other thing. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do that. And so she didn't adopt the victim status of I'm going to wait on Joe Biden to pay off my student loans. She said, I want my life back. I want Sally Mae out of my life.
Well, the thread is you have agency over your life.
That's it.
And until you believe that, your life isn't going to change because you're going to continue to have things happen to you instead of you happening to it. That's a big paradigm shift for a lot of people to make. But it's life-changing once you make it.
Agency. That's a good word, agency.
It's an old-timey word, Dave. I thought you'd enjoy that.
You need an agent. You need a new agent. You're the new agent. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Craig's in Jacksonville, Florida. Hi, Craig. How are you?
Good, sir. How are you doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Doing good, and it's an honor to finally meet you. And sorry, I'm just a little nervous.
It's okay. How can we help?
I had a quick question. I was trying to figure out, I guess, how I would stay motivated during the baby step 2. I've been listening to you for about a year through all your YouTube videos and podcasts, and I was listening to some of the videos before I called you today, and that's what encouraged me to call. I'm currently, again, working on baby step 2. I've probably paid about $35,000 out of the $60,000 in debt so far.
Way to go.
And I'm just kind of hitting an emotional, mental and motivation speed bump in this process.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I just have a bunch of stuff on my mind with the career path I have, family issues going on, my health and everything. So things have just kind of taken a toll over this whole year of grinding out through this debt-paying journey that I'm on.
What's wrong with your health?
Well, I have congestive heart failures since I was 26. I'm 30 years old now.
So that did not change.
No, sir.
Okay. What's wrong with your family?
My mother and father actually have split up and now kind of reworking their relationship. So that's kind of a cause too on everything because I actually stay with family member because of the health issue I have. So
you stay with one of them?
I stay at my grandmother's house. She bought the house when we moved here in Florida, and I've been staying there.
Okay, so your parents are not in your space every day, but they're going through their own crap, right?
They are, and my father tends to use me as a crutch while I'm going through what I'm going through, and sometimes it's very hard.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you said you have a career path issue?
Yes, I'm currently a manager at a local Walgreens I work with. I make about $31,000 a year, and I'm blessed to have a job because I was working at a different job before COVID, and then I switched back to this job. So, and I'm just kind of not really happy where I'm at because of the amount I make. And it has got me through the first year of me paying my debt that I have, but I've just kind of felt like slowly my motivation's starting to hit rock bottom.
That makes sense. Yeah, because here's what's happening. You feel like this job's happening to you. You're not happening to it. You feel like your parents' mess is happening to you. You're not happening to it. And the heart thing is happening to you, and obviously you can't happen to it. You don't get to control that one. But these things are controlling you because you're allowing them to.
Yes, sir.
The parents' mess and your job mess. So you have here's the thing. It's hard to have a sense of power over your money when you have a sense of powerlessness in key relationships and powerlessness in your career.
Yes, sir.
It's, because it's sucking what confidence you gain a little confidence over here in the money thing. Like you paid off $35,000. That's really good. But then it gets sick. It's like your dad and mom come along with a confidence syringe and remove it.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, how long did it take to pay off the 35?
I actually started last July, and that's including working at my job with overtime and side gigs here and there.
Dude, you've been living off nothing. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I've literally, every 2 weeks, I literally live off $150 in beans and rice and beans, literally.
Wow. Well, on the health side, that's something you've got to manage. That's obviously not something we can just fix overnight. On the parent side, it may require a boundary with dad and a hard conversation. Say, Dad, listen, you need to find a good therapist, a counselor who can help walk you through this. I can't be that for you. And then on the career side, you can go be a manager somewhere else. You can start applying today and probably make way more than 31.
Yes, sir.
And so if you have that pep in your step going, I'm in control, I can do this. And worst case, you're doing this for 1 year longer. Why'd you start the baby steps to begin with?
Because I wanted that financial freedom. I remember not having any debt, having money in the bank, able to buy something I wanted, not go, take like a car payment or anything out, but just having that financial freedom and not that burden.
You know what the problem with a free book is? Nobody reads them because they were free. Nobody paid for it. You didn't pay for it. But I'm going to give you 2 free books anyway on the risk that I can get you to read them. I'm going to give you Paycheck to Purpose by Ken Coleman. So you get up on top of this career thing and you start happening to it instead of it happening to you. And I'm going to give you Own Your Past, Change Your Future from Dr. John Deloney, so you can begin to have some tools to work with mom and dad and say, I love you, but I can't fix this. I'm actually the kid. You're actually the parent. I can't fix this. And so only the strong can help the weak, and you are not strong enough to carry your dad right now. So him using you as a crutch, he's got a rubber crutch. He's going to hit the floor. So, and you're both going down. So, you've got to love him, but not be carrying around his stuff. You're carrying around all of his burdens instead of him carrying them. And you feel stuck over at the job because you haven't done anything about getting unstuck. So I'm going to give you both books, and they're 2 different things. But this all comes back to, Craig, you taking power, you taking George's word, agency over your life in these areas. And when you do, you're going to get some energy back for getting out of debt. But right now, you got these 3 negative drains pulling you down while you've got one area you're being successful in. That is very difficult for anyone, my man.
Well, Dave, I'm going to add in one more gift in case he gets sick of reading. Craig, I'm going to send you Financial Peace University. You can watch those videos. It also will include every dollar, the premium version, so you can make a plan for every dollar coming in and attack this debt faster, because I don't want you to have to sacrifice longer than you have to.
Yeah, you know, that's good. And try to find one of the Financial Peace groups in your area and join
that's good.
it.
Get connected and
Get
real
some
people
human beings in the room with you
who are excited that you showed up again.
That'll hold you accountable. They're not going to put up with whining, but they also, on the other side, are going to love you and just say, hey, man, you know, you can do this. They'll encouragement and accountability we all need in areas where we're struggling. So, yeah, we'll plug you into all of that. So, we're going to load you up with resources because it's easy to have this many things coming at you that are stealing power in so many different areas. It's easy to feel powerless. The interesting thing is you're not. That you can just decide today, I'm not carrying my father's stuff around. He gets to carry his own stuff.
I can apply for a new job.
I love him, and I know he's hurting, but I can't fix all that. I'm going to let him carry his own deal. And here's his backpack. And I don't want to be at this Walgreens anymore.
Dr. John talks about that all the time, the bricks in the backpack that we carry around from other people, putting them in there.
Yep.
And we're wondering why we can't even crawl.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
exactly what's going on here. So, yeah, you can do this, man. You really can. And if you need some more help, you call back anytime. We're here to talk to you. And
give Ken Coleman a call on his show. That'd be a fun one.
Yeah.
On the career side.
Yeah. We'll always tell you the truth, but I just kind of hear it. And, you know, when you don't physically feel great because of the heart thing going on, it makes it triple hard to fight through the other stuff. So it's a mental exercise of mental toughness for you to move through these other areas, controlling the things you can control, and then things start to move for you.
And let go of the rest.
That's exactly it. Hey, thank you for calling, sir. Hang on. We'll get you all those materials out to you and try to help you any way we can. That about puts this particular hour in the books. Our thanks to Austin, Ben, Zach, Andrew, and James, and Kelly in the booth. I am Dave Ramsey, your host, and we'll be back.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.
Of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of The Fine Print and the EntreLeadership podcast, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Lauren is in Atlanta starting off this hour. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Dave?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
Well, I will try to keep this short. My husband and I are currently upside down in the house that we're in, and the mortgage is in my name, and I'm just desperate to find options besides bankruptcy, but wondering if you think I should just go ahead and file bankruptcy.
Are you behind?
No, sir. The house...
How much is your payment?
It is $750.
What do you owe on the house?
$115,000.
Okay. And what do you think it's worth?
Well, that's the thing. So back in 2008, I put a lot of money in the house because my grandmother insisted on staying there until she passed. That was always what her goal was. And so the house was very it was in bad shape then, but just wanted to honor her. So had a friend that helped me kind of put work into the house. I was unaware that the work that was being done wasn't done properly. For instance, they put a new kitchen on a rotted subfloor. The sills in the house are rotted. There's wood-eating fungus that's destroyed the base of the house. The house is sick. We had to move out about a year and a half ago for our health. We were losing our hair, and our dog was getting sick as well. And so we've been paying rent and paying the mortgage, thinking that we could just kind of be
Have you had
positive
anybody look at it to tell you what it's worth in the crummy condition that it's in?
So it's worthless. And we've been told not to put another dime into it. And
Stop with the drama. Have you had anybody that's a professional real estate person or investor look at it and tell you what it's worth?
We've had several people. And
they say it's worth zero. No.
Well, $40,000 is what the land is worth. So that's what I mean. We're upside down. I don't mean to be dramatic. It's kind of
it's not. You
dramatic.
said it's worth less. That was dramatic. It is not worth less. It's worth $40,000. Okay, so it's or more
worth anything,
or more.
Sir, but the land is worth $40,000.
How much land is involved?
5.8 acres.
Where? In Atlanta?
It's actually outside of Atlanta. Closest big city I would say is Atlanta, but Athens, outside of Athens, Georgia.
So a rural community.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do you have homeowners insurance?
I do. And back in 2015, I tried to contact them to see if they would help with the mold. I had some of the mold remediated, and it worked temporarily. But it's bad.
Who do you owe the money to?
The mortgage company currently is Regions Bank.
Is it an FHA loan, a VA loan, or a conventional loan?
I believe it is a conventional, but I'm not 100%.
Okay. And what is your household income?
My husband and I make around $30,000 currently.
Okay. You are not bankrupt, but you are in a mess. You already knew that.
Yes, sir.
You already knew that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So worst case scenario is you get foreclosed on because you quit paying payments on this today. And worst case is
okay.
I would go ahead and contact Regions and say, I'm done. The house is falling in. I can't fix it. I only make $30,000 a year. Put me in touch with your short sale department.
Okay.
Get in touch with a real estate agent at RamseySolutions.com and interview some of our ELPs, our endorsed local providers. Ask them when you're interviewing them if they have any experience with a short sale.
Okay.
Very few short sales in today's world, but you have a house that is rotted down and lost its value, and you've got basic structural thing. It just needs a stick of dynamite thrown in it. I hear you. It's over.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't a great house to start with, and then it's gotten worse.
Sir.
And so here's what's going to happen. Let's pretend that 40,000 is a real number. I'm not positive it is. That means this land is worth less than $10,000 an acre. I suspect you probably get more than that for it.
It's in a floodplain. I forgot to tell you that.
The whole thing?
The railroad expanded. Well, the DOT expanded the highway in front of the house years ago. We happen to be
the whole
in a low
5
spot.
acres is in a floodplain?
No, sir.
Okay,
no,
that's
sir.
what
But
I was
the
asking.
house has been flooding under there for many years.
That's okay. The house is gone. So here's what's going to happen. The real estate agent gets you an offer of $40,000 or $50,000, but you owe. What'd you say, 150? 115?
115.
Then that offer goes to Regions, and Regions can decide if they want to accept that.
Okay.
And if they accept that offer, then they forgive the rest of the loan. Now, here's the word you must remember, the phrase you must remember. This is a short sale without recourse.
Without recourse.
Which
Thank
means they
you.
can't come back after you for the difference in the $115,000 and the $50,000 you get for it.
Okay.
But if they get $10,000 an acre out of this, that'd be $50,000. And they take that offer to Regions. Regions says, hey, look, after we foreclose on and we take this property back, we're not going to get $115,000 for it. We're going to get $50,000 for it. Then we've got to go sue this woman named Lauren who makes $30,000 a year, at which point she'll file Chapter 7 bankruptcy and we're going to get nothing. So we're just going to take this.
Okay.
That's what a short sale is. That's how the logic works. But you've got to have an agent that knows how to make that pitch to Regions and work through the Regions mess. And Regions is no picnic to work with. They're a pain in the butt. But maybe you could, they just are. It's a stupid bank. So, but, you know, here's the thing. Quit paying payments, A. B, number 2, get a real estate agent that'll help you with a short sale. You can do that at RamseySolutions.com. And then C, hopefully we can get them to accept an offer from an investor or a local guy who wants to just farm it and push the house down or whatever, right? Maybe your next door neighbor wants the property.
Yes, sir.
And they'll accept it without recourse.
Okay.
That way they don't chase you for the difference, kiddo. But this is going to be it's going to take 6 months to a year of your life of screwing with this. But all that time you're going to be saving $750 a month because you ain't paying any more payments. If they do come around and foreclose and come after you, you can deal with it then. Settle with them on that. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Okay, one of the things you're supposed to do when you listen to this show is be entertained, and you can't help but do that because people are just plain entertaining. Especially George. And
I thought you were talking about the callers.
Yeah, well, I was, but I was also talking about that you're just an amazing talent. But the
thank you.
The other thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to learn. And so there are, you know, we have these things called mentors, and a lot of our callers are anti-mentors.
I thought you were going to say dementors, which is different.
Well, it's they're anti-mentors. You don't do what they did. Now, so you learn from that last caller. Okay, what was the whole thing that set this whole thing up?
What went wrong?
Grandma wanted her to put $50,000 to $75,000 more into a rotted down house than it was worth in order to be happy in her last days. Now, this is the point where you look at Granny and you use the magic word.
Is it no?
Guessed it. No is the magic word. No, Granny. I'll be happy to take care of you. I love you. Me going bankrupt is not an act of love towards you. Right?
You would have been better off getting her an apartment somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, for what they spent in pain, trouble, and mess. But it was an old family place. It's probably Granny's old place. And there's a lot of emotion, and you can just get caught up in the family drama and get into Stupidville real quick. Instead, you've got to back up, pan back, and look at this and go, wait a minute. This is a bad idea. Now, I love my grandmother. There's no question you should love your grandmother. Some of your grandmothers aren't lovable, but you should love them anyway, and that's not a question. But that you still have to have wisdom about how you go about this, and
we don't bankrupt ourselves for Grandma.
It's well, for Grandma's wishes, which are ridiculous, especially. Okay? Now, if we could save her life by paying for her cancer treatments, yeah, okay.
That's different.
I'll go there. You know, you do whatever you got to do there. But, you know, Grandma wants a better house, and that's how she's going to be happy in her last days. You should have thought of that 50 years ago when you didn't save money, Granny, because I can't do this, and I'm not dropping a bunch of money, and this house is rotting down, because that's obviously was a piece of crap house before this whole story started. Probably should have been pushed down in 2008 instead of fixed up. It sounds like it's a mess. And so instead we renovated a kitchen on top of a rotting house, right?
It's flooding underneath.
There's a lot. So, you know, it's not to pick on the poor girl that called in. I mean, bless her heart, she's got a mess. We're here to help her. Everybody's done something stupid, and that's hers. Okay, I've done plenty of more stupid things than that. Things that were more stupid than that, or however you say that. Both, really. But but yeah, so always be listening to these calls and learning from them. That's a deal. So
and the advice was shoot for the short sale is her best bet.
Yeah. The one thing I didn't think of until we got off the air at the break is I thought maybe that was Old Family Farm and maybe it's in Granny's name. And if that mortgage was in Granny's name, which I doubt it was because she said she had to go get the fix up. But if that mortgage is in Granny's name and Granny died and the farm is in Granny's name and Granny died, I just call Regions and tell them, here's the keys. Good luck with this. I mean, just give it to them. Because who are they foreclosing on? The estate. And, you know, there's nothing here. It's the estate has a negative net worth. So they get nothing for making this loan. Which, oh, by the way, how do they make this loan?
That's what I was wondering. How did this thing even appraise for financing?
It didn't. So bogus, horrible lending practice here. So so a little bit there on Regions, but they're going to get to pay for it, so it's okay. It's going to work out. Blake is in Atlanta. Hi, Blake. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How are y'all?
Better than we deserve, man. What's up?
All right. My wife and we sold our house a year and a half ago, and our kind of long-term goal was to have as much acreage as we could and build a house and, you know, live the dream, yada, yada. So we purchased, with the profit that we made on our house, we purchased 26.5 acres in Adairsville, Georgia, and we were looking to build there, and that was the plan. We've got the land cleaned up. It was really grown up, and now it's not. Now it looks good, and we're ready to build on it. But these interest rates just kind of went through the roof and just kind of pushed us outside of where we were comfortable building in regards to what the monthly payment was going to be, conservatively speaking. So now we've got the land on the market. We've kind of stepped back and feel like the best decision for us is to be able to sell that land and then take the profit that we make from that and then just purchase a home.
Okay.
Outright is what we're thinking. The kind of where we were on the fence is kind of just, I guess, putting the dream on pause for a minute. I don't know if, you know, over time the land's probably going to be more expensive if we try to go do this again. But on the flip side, we're thinking about just our lifestyle in general and it being just having the freedom of not having a mortgage, being 33 and going that route. What would be your advice on
how much would the payment be with the new interest rates?
$2,500.
What's your take home pay?
We made $123,000 last year.
Sell the land.
Yeah. I figured I kind of served you a beach ball on this one.
So you're saying you could sell the land and buy a home with cash?
A beach ball with a very low net. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're thinking, man. You know, I thought for us to be, you know, my wife's she's in her 20s and I'm 33. So for us to do that, buy a house, not have a mortgage, and then
that part's really cool, and I like that part. I mean, if you told me your payment was going to be $1,000 and you're just freaking out over nothing, I'd tell you to build the house. But your payment ratio's off.
Yeah, when it was in the 4% range, we were.
You were still high.
Yeah.
Because we tell you what we tell you, right? 25% of your take-home pay. Your take-home pays what? $6,500, $7,000?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yep.
A fourth of that is what we would tell you on a 15-year fix. You probably heard us say that, right?
I have. Yeah.
You weren't making that on a 4% loan either.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah. So I'm glad you didn't call me back then, because I would have burst your bubble earlier.
Right.
How long ago did you buy this land, Blake?
We've had it a year and a half, and thankfully, just the way the market's been, we bought it at $4,500 an acre, and we've got it for sale right now for $15 an acre. We dropped it today actually to the 15 from 18 an acre, and everything surrounding that that's what it's selling for.
Yeah, good.
So we're.
Well, you're going to make some money, and life is good, and you move on to the next deal. And like you said, you're going to be having a very peaceful life in a paid-for house, and you save up, and you'll do your land deal later. And, sometimes Sharon and I, when we're looking at deals, we did this the other day. We were actually looking at a piece of ground the other day, and neither one of us could get real comfortable with it. So we kind of just think, this is like not so fun. It's okay, but it's not like... It's not a spike.
You're not excited about it.
It's okay, but it's not, And when we do that, sometimes because we've lived in Nashville for 40 years, been married 40 years and lived in Nashville, right? So, and I grew up in Nashville. So sometimes we'll just go driving around and look at all the deals we didn't do. Remember when we almost bought that? Aren't you glad we didn't? Remember we almost bought that? Aren't you glad we didn't?
That is called
Remember
JOMO.
when we sold that? Aren't you glad we did?
Yes.
And we've done enough deals that we can do that for a couple hours, and then we just go home and go, we're not doing it.
I love that. That's called JOMO, Dave. The joy of missing out. Dodge that bullet. Dodge that bullet.
JOMO, the joy of missing out. A George Camel original. Maybe. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel Ramsey personality is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Shannon is with us. Hey, Shannon, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Where do you live?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
All right, good Texas girl. Yeah. Awesome. How much debt did you pay off?
I paid off $204,000.
Awesomeness. How long did this take?
It took me about 45 months or 3 years, 9 months.
Got it. And your range of income during that time?
I started out at 104 and I ended out around 120.
Cool. What do you do for a living?
I'm a physician assistant.
Oh, good PA. Mm-hmm. Thus the 204 student loan debt,
yes,
I guess.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Was it most of it student loan or all of it?
It was mainly student loan and then a car fleece.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. So almost 4 years.
Yes.
You've been chugging at this.
Yes.
How long have you been out of school?
About that same amount of time, about 4 years.
So you got out of school and you said, I'm going to attack this. How'd you get connected to this Ramsey stuff, and how'd you decide to do it?
I know. I was trying to think about that on my way here. I think I just got out of school, and I knew I had this mountain to get over, and I think I just started Googling getting out of debt, and I think I just found you, and everything worked out.
And there it is.
Good old Google. And you just went with it. You were just like, all right, sounds good.
Yeah. It took me a while to really get Gazelle intense. At first I wanted to start my 401k and get going with the future, and I just realized I wasn't making enough traction, and so I just dove right in and
game on.
Just took right off. Yeah.
Okay. So you found us on Google, and then
I've just been going kind of gung-ho. I mean, I've read all the books. I listen to the podcast every day, and just kind of, and I did FPU too.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yep.
You did go all in.
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
So Financial Peace University, read the books and podcasts, and all started from a simple, I want out of debt search.
Yep.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yep.
Good for you. Well, one thing about being a PA, that's a tough line of study, and it took a lot of discipline and some sacrifice to hit a goal.
It did.
And so when you say, oh, there's a goal. Oh, I know how to do that. Discipline and sacrifice.
Right.
So it's not, you know how to delay pleasure. You've already done that
right.
to get this degree, to be able to be in this field.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and you come out of school and you want to live on your nice paycheck and but I just put my head down and I did it so I don't have to do it ever again.
I love that. Did your PA friends think you're weird? They're like, hey, you're doing great. Why didn't you pay off this debt so quickly?
They were all really supportive. They're all doing their own things, and they were proud of me for doing it. So
that's good. Maybe you'll inspire them. They go, wait,
Yeah.
you did it in 45 months?
Exactly.
Tell me more.
Exactly. I hope so.
That's awesome.
Yeah. How's it feel to be free?
It feels so good. I know people say this, but it really does feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. It's just you're free of this burden. You just don't have to worry about it anymore. You can just get on with your life and not worry about what you did when you were 18, right?
Do you remember what the payment was on that $204,000?
The most it got up to, and I've heard another girl say this on her stream, the most it got up to was like, when I did extra, it was like $5,000 a month. And I remember somebody saying that was like a luxury vacation they were paying off every month. And I just had that in my
That's a
mind.
fun way
and I
to
was
look
like,
at it.
I was like, I just want a luxury vacation at the end of all this. So
are you going to take one? What are you doing?
well, this is our start. This is the start, and then we'll do one in a year or two.
Yeah, well, Nashville's a nice place to visit. Yeah.
It's
We're
no
making
Cabo,
it
but
luxurious.
it gets the job done.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not Italy, but it'll work. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Good for you. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. So now you've done it. You're a person who sets goals and knocks them down. The latest one is $204,000 in 45 months. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
The key to getting out of debt, everybody says the budget. I totally agree. It's the budget. I love the Every Dollar Budget app. And then just getting really gazelle intense. At the beginning, I just had all my, I just want to do my 401k, and I wanted to save up for an emergency fund, and I wanted to do my student loans, and I just wasn't making any traction. And so just putting all your eggs in one basket, just going all in, and then just putting your head down, and it's done.
The power of focus.
Yeah, just zero in.
Yeah, if you have to do one thing, because nothing gets done if you don't do the one thing first.
Right.
Yeah, it feels like wisdom to try to do a little bit of everything.
Right.
But then you wonder
Right.
why you're in the same place you were a year ago.
Yes.
You're not seeing the numbers move. We need that as part of our psyche as humans. And
Absolutely.
you experienced it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank
Way
you.
to go, hero.
Thank you.
Who was cheering you on?
I had lots of cheerleaders. One of them is my boyfriend, Nick. He bought me FPU. He
Go,
was
Nick.
like, you go.
I like Nick.
And he actually paid off his debt alongside me as well. So that was really
awesome.
helpful, good motivation. And then my parents, and I asked them to be here today. They couldn't make it with us, but they were really big cheerleaders along the way too. And then my best girlfriends, Rebecca and Jennifer, they're financial finance nerds kind of like me, and we would just kind of text back and forth about all the tips, and I would text them with my milestones, and they were both really encouraging, so it was really helpful.
awesome.
Very good.
There's
Very
a theme
good.
today. Other people matter in your
Yes.
financial journey.
Yeah.
Don't do it alone.
Absolutely.
huge.
Accountability and encouragement. It's really
Absolutely.
important. Yeah. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Very well done. She already knew that.
I'll try.
Good stuff. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you.
Awesome.
That's the next chapter in your story for sure. You are on your way. How extraordinary people built, or how ordinary people built extraordinary wealth, and how you can too. We'll give you another copy of Financial Peace membership. You can
Great.
give that away to somebody
Thank you.
since you've been through the class, and also a copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give away to somebody since you and Nick are in the business of encouraging people and getting them moving in the right
Yes.
direction. Good stuff. Very good stuff. And thank you for trusting us on the journey.
Yeah,
We're honored
thank y'all
to
for
have,
being here.
We're honored to have been cheering you on, even though we didn't know it until today. So we're proud of you. Very, very, very well done.
Thank you.
All right, Shannon in Houston, Texas, $204,000 of Sally Mae PA loan done in 45 months, making 104 to 120. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I'm debt free.
Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Very, very well done. Very well done. Well, we've got, we're coming into a political season with the midterms coming up, and you're going to hear the volume come up. Watch the volume. Click, click, click on student loans and how out of control they are, and what an epic failure the whole system is. Completely agree with all of that. And so it must be that we forgive the loans. And so there's going to be some politics played.
It's a nice way to put it.
Where they act like they're doing something, and they're not. That's what politics played is, about forgiving the loans. But there's going to be a lot of discussion and a lot of rancor in the air again, and a lot of carrying on about how stuck people are and that they can't move on with their lives, and millennials are putting off having children or the careers that they want, and all because of their student loan debt. And enter our last debt-free scream, who says, don't think so.
No thanks, I'll do it myself.
No thanks. I'll take 45 months and I will pay back the $204,000 that I borrowed to go to school. And I will have the dignity of having done that. I did sign the paper that said I owed it, and I'm not waiting on the White House to fix my house. I'm going to do this. You just keep this in mind when you hear this volume knob start clicking up, because it's just a matter of, a couple, 3, 4 weeks. We're going to start hearing it. And it's going to get louder and louder and louder and louder until we get to October, and then it'll just get real quiet again.
Yep. It happens every year, but over time, it's been happening more and more because the crisis is finally getting, it's getting out there. This is not a secret anymore.
But there's 2 messages we want everybody to get from this. Don't get in student loan debt, and if you did, you can get out.
Yeah.
And we'll show you how.
And the politicians,
and we'll help you.
They're half right in presenting the problem, but the solution to them is vote for me. I'm going to be the savior on the white horse. But instead, you got to look in the mirror and go, no, the politicians, I'll talk. No shock there. I'm going to do this thing.
The white horse is a hand puppet. So I'm just saying, it's not working. Remember that left-handed puppetry thing?
Oh, yeah.
Got the degree in left-handed puppetry. Then they went into politics. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Colossians 3:9-10. Don't lie to each other, for you have stripped off your old sinful nature and all its wicked deeds. Put on your new nature and be renewed as you learn to know your Creator and become like Him. Mark Twain said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything.
That's another way to put it.
There you go.
He was like tweeting before tweeting was a thing. Just short, snappy, witty.
No question about it. With rising costs everywhere you look, we know you've had enough. Right now, normal in America is getting freaked out by the total on the cash register in the grocery store, asking the cashier to take stuff off like a gallon of milk so you don't overdraft your bank account. Well, normal sucks. You deserve a chance at some extra breathing room. We're super excited to tell you this month we're giving away $500 cash every week and a grand prize of $3,000 in our Ramsey Cash giveaway. You can enter every day. There is, of course, no purchase necessary, and you must be 18 to win. RamseySolutions.com/giveaway. Every day. Enter. RamseySolutions.com/giveaway. So we had our business has been open now for 30 years. I've been on the air for 30 years. We currently have about 1,200 folks working on our team. And over the years, folks that have come and left and got married, left and had a baby, went home, or took another job, or got fired, or whatever. We probably got another 1,500 or so over that 30 years that don't work here anymore. And over the years of running a business that size and growing business and so forth, we've had team members go through tragedies with the loss of children, spouses, certainly grandparents and parents, all kinds of things like that over the years. Our family, we've walked together through all that. But we have had a new experience this weekend. Trying to get through this, not cry. A young man named Michael Pretorius that's been with us for 5 years. And 2 of the 5 years that he's been on our payroll, he was not at work because he's been fighting cancer. And he graduated and went to be with Jesus on last night. And so first time in our history we've had an active team member pass away. And so our whole place is kind of, we've all been walking with him and his wife and his family and his mom. His sister works here. And through the whole process and just watching the horrible thing that cancer is. And it's I'm stammering because I'm about to cry, but it's painful. Yeah. And but it's real, and just an incredible young man.
Oh yeah,
incredible young man.
His faith during this journey was one of the most inspiring things to watch as he fought. And I was reading a text from him I got the other day as I was letting him know we're praying for him. I mean, he's in one of our social groups. He's been a good friend of mine. We've, bunked together on some of the trips we've done as guys. And, man, that guy is a warrior. And he loved Jesus more than anyone I know.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a stud. And so our hearts are heavy.
Yeah, it's been a somber day here.
And certainly for his wife, Amanda. And, rest assured, he's got 1,200 family members that are all around him, making sure she's okay as best she can be through this whole process. But there's been a lot of tears in our building today, and will continue to be in the weeks to come, I'm sure. But yeah, so if you want something to pray for today, that gives you something to pray for. And you don't. There's no amount of preparation you can do for something like this. Yeah. You can't get ready for that. Other than making sure you have a good, strong spiritual walk with the Lord. And and he did. He's an incredible young guy. 29 years old. Just amazing. Just amazing. All right, open phones here at 888-825-5225. Rose is with us. Rose is in Pennsylvania. Hi, Rose. How are you?
I have post-polio syndrome and fibromyalgia.
Oh.
That's how I am.
Wow. Yeah. You got a lot you're dealing with.
Pardon?
I said you got a lot you're dealing with.
Yes.
So, how can we help today?
Okay. I have approximately $150,000 saved.
Mm-hmm.
It's in CDs and money market and just savings account.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to know how I can invest it wisely and have something to live off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I call CDs in a situation like this certificates of depreciation. Because you're making nothing, girl, as you noticed, right? You're making nothing on this.
Banks aren't paying anything anyway.
Yeah, you're not making nothing off this money. It's just sitting there.
Right.
And so if you made 10% on it, it'd be $15,000, $1,200 a month coming in, something like that, and you're making nothing. So that's
years ago, the interest rates were up to.
Yeah, they were, but they're not now, and they haven't been. They haven't been in recent decades.
Right.
That's a couple of decades back that you're talking about. So, yeah.
Right.
What I would tell you is this: I would personally invest. I do personally invest. George personally invests in good growth stock mutual funds with long track records. What you have with your by the fact that you're invested in, by the fact you got this money parked in CDs, number one, and number two, you're fighting all of these medical things. Both of those things tell me you are really, really, really anti-risk, and you probably would see mutual funds as really scary. They're no more scary than buying a house. They've got as good a solid a track record. If you buy a house, you're going to make some money if you hold it a while. It's only been one time in history in the last 70 years, 80 years, almost 100 years, that house prices have gone down, and that was 2008. One time. Now, mutual funds are more volatile than that. They go up and down. But I would sit down with a SmartVestor Pro, and I would not do what the SmartVestor Pro says. And I would not do what Dave Ramsey or George Camel says. I would learn about mutual funds, and then you do what you decide to do. That way you won't wake up in the middle of the night freaked out, scared, because you will understand. That'll make you understand and be comfortable with before you move forward. When you meet with an investment professional as the heart of a teacher, it changes everything.
Yeah. They're not going to sit there and go, well, here's all the things we're going to do. They'll recommend things, and they'll help you understand why they're recommending what they're recommending, but it's up to you to actually make the call. And so we get calls sometimes, they go, well, they made me do. No, they didn't make you do anything.
Yeah, my financial advisor lost money for me. No, you lost money for you. You took their advice. So they're called an advisor, not a teller what to do-er.
That would be a terrible name anyways.
Yeah, it's a horrible name.
But yeah, that's good.
Didn't even work when I was saying it. But yeah.
Tell her what to do her. So for long-term mutual funds, for short-term, now I don't think she needs this money today. Clearly, it's locked up in a CD anyways.
Yeah, it needs to be making some money. That's why she called. So yeah, you need to learn about the mutual funds and buy super conservative that don't have the volatility, because it's going to scare you to death when you first do it. And don't even move all the money at once in there. Move just $50,000. And then kind of get comfortable with that. And it's like kind of wading into the water. You get used to the water up to your knees, and you get used to the water, and then you can kind of get out, and then you can just go on in, But you don't have to just dive in and go, it's cold!
That's what crypto is, Dave. That's the polar ice plunge. You throw all your money in crypto.
No, polar ice plunge is good for you.
That's true. Good caveat.
No, bad metaphor.
Shock the system.
So sit down, go to RamseySolutions.com, hon, and sit down with a SmartVestor Pro and let them guide you and teach you, and you learn. And if you know what's going on, you'll have peace with the investing. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.